Madam Kati, say hello to us. Say hello to us. Thank you. Oh, my. Please greet us.
Yeah, greetings from Tamale.
Welcome, all the way from Tamale. Welcome, welcome, welcome to every one of you. Thank you. We are blessed with a number of people in our midst this morning. Joy News is also here. Other media houses are also present. Print and television are all present. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a very good morning to you. Before we start the program, I would like to acknowledge the dignitaries amongst us. You are all special. Turn to somebody and say you are special. Welcome. You are all special. Everyone here is special. And we thank you for gracing this occasion. But because it's a program and certain people would have to lead us, permits me to let you know the people who are going to lead us this morning in launching Ghana's register. We have in our midst, we're expecting the Honorable Minister for Education, but we are blessed to have his minister with us. So Honorable Deputy Minister, Dr. Clement Apak, my own teacher, you are welcome. You couldn't see me. Good to see you, sir. We have His Excellency, the head of UNESCO represented in Ghana, Mr. Edward Mukaila. You are welcome, sir. His Excellency, the Ambassador of Japan, His Excellency, Ambassador Hiroshi Yoshimoto. You are welcome. We have Dr. Helena Asamoa-Hassan. You are welcome, Madam. We also have Professor Osman Tahidu Damba. You are welcome. As I said, it's a bright morning and we are happy to be here. There are also other people around. Later on, I'll be getting their names. But permit me, once I'm on stage, permit me. My own mom is also here. Emerita Professor Isabella Pache. You are welcome, ma. I will be mentioning names as we go on. Thank you very much for that. What are we here for this morning? And as you can see with a big banner before you, we are launching Ghana's memory of the World Register. And what is it about as we have students amongst us? As we go on in the program, we will try our best to let you know why we are here. But before that, just to let you know that this is a UNESCO program, and UNESCO's Memory of the World was created with the aim of preserving archives and documents, all forms of documentary heritage, from aging, damage, and loss. Today, we are here joining as the nation Ghana launches its national register to preserve Ghana's documentary heritage. And we will be knowing the difference between documentary heritage and cultural heritage. I believe a number of times we hear about cultural heritage. So today we would also be learning about documentary heritage. Documentary heritage can be in an analog form or in a digital form. So anything, any information purposely written down as a memory document is what we are going to look at this morning. And I believe that, as I've repeated myself severally, before we leave here, you will learn something before leaving here. Without wasting much time, ladies and gentlemen, I would like us to get a welcome address. The person to do the welcome address for us is Professor Osman Tahidu Damba. But before we walk to the podium, Can we hear just a brief thing about Professor Damba? Professor Damba is the Secretary General of National Commission for UNESCO. Professor is an agricultural economist and a senior lecturer at the University for Development Studies, UDS, Ghana. He earned a PhD in agricultural economics, specializing in policy and extension from Atatürk University in Turkey. He also holds an MPhil in agribusiness from the University of Ghana, Legon, and a BSc in agricultural technology from UDS. Professor Damba focuses on food systems, policy analysis, climate change, and environmental sustainability. He brings extensive experience in research, projects, and data management, as well as international and local development. He has worked with organizations such as the International Fertilizer Development Center, the Pan-African Organization for Sustainable Development, where he led Oxfam GB's Livelihoods Program, the Farmers Organization Network in Ghana, and the Association of Church Development Projects. He has led numerous consultancy assignments on climate and livelihoods, food systems, and policy analysis over the decades. Professor Damba has published extensively in peer-reviewed journals and actively facilitated partnerships and collaborations through various projects. He has also secured grant funding in collaboration with international agencies, including the World Bank and the European Union. Ladies and gentlemen, shall we welcome Professor Damba to the podium? Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is a very great milestone as far as national member of the world is concerned. On behalf of the Ghana Commission for UNESCO, I want to express our gratitude for this great milestone. Honorable Minister for Education present, distinguished guests, His Excellency Mr. Edmund Mukala, His Excellency the Japanese Ambassador to Ghana, other dignitaries gathered here, Dr. Helena, I'll keep on appreciating you for getting us to this great milestone. Members of the Member of the World Committee, I say a very good morning to you all. In my local language, the Ghana will say this. Oh, the Bible. It is an honor and a privilege to welcome you all in my capacity as the Secretary General of the Ghana Commission for UNESCO, the proud host of the Ghana Member of the World Committee, to this historic occasion, which is the launch of the Ghana's documented heritage on the National Register. Distinguished guests, Deputy Minister present, today marks a pivotal moment in our collective journey to preserve, protect, and promote the documentary heritage of our beloved nation, Ghana. We gather not only to celebrate the richness of our past, but also to reaffirm our commitment to safeguarding it for future generations. Distinguished guests, students gathered here, Ghana's documented heritage, whether in the form of manuscripts, archives, audiovisual materials, or rare publications, tells the story of who we are as a people. It reflects our journey as Ghanaians in terms of our struggles, achievements, and aspirations. In many instances, these records are the only surviving evidence of our history. Distinguished guests, this initiative is firmly aligned with the UNESCO's Memory of the World program, which seeks to safeguard documentary heritage, promote access to information, raise awareness of its significance worldwide. Through this register, Ghana is taking an important step towards preserving its documentary heritage while positioning itself within the global community of nations committed to promoting our collective memory. Your Excellencies gathered here, distinguished guests, the establishment of this national register provides a platform to identify, preserve, and make accessible our country's most valuable documentary heritage. It will serve as a vital resource for research, education, and cultural exchange, while fostering a deeper sense of national pride and identity. Distinguished guests, I wish to commend all those whose dedication and hard work have made this initiative possible, particularly the committee, which is the Ghana Memory of the World Committee, hosted by our commission, as well as our partners across government, academia, and memory institutions. Your commitment to preserving our history is both admirable and inspiring. Distinguished guests, we also wish to acknowledge with sincere appreciation the support of the government of Japan towards strengthening documentary heritage preservation efforts in Ghana. Distinguished guests, as we begin today's program, I encourage all stakeholders to play their part in advancing the preservation and accessibility of Ghana's documentary heritage beyond today's launch. The success of this initiative will depend on our collective efforts and sustained collaboration. On this note, I warmly welcome you all once again and wish we all a successful and memorable event. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Damba. Again, as I said, we'll keep introducing our dignitaries as and when they come in. We'd like to acknowledge the presence of Madame Sylvia Annie. Madame, you are welcome. We'd also like to acknowledge the presence of the chair of WHO experts panel in our midst. Sir, you are welcome. Okay. Oh, Madame Annie is the chair of WHO experts panel. Sorry for pardon me for that. We'd also like to acknowledge Mr. Asamoa-Hassan, Executive Director of Ghana Library Authority. Thank you very much. I mentioned that as we go on, we'll be learning as well. What are some examples of documentary heritage? We heard being welcomed, and we were told a committee was put in place to make sure that today's activity comes on smoothly and for us to see what we'll be seeing later on. I just want to give us some examples of documentary heritage for the purposes of learning, especially for our students who are present with us. We are talking about manuscripts, we are talking about archives, we are talking about photographs, we are talking about diaries, we are talking about anything that has been written and continues to be written, whether in analog form or in digital format. Thank you very much. Before we continue, we would like to take a poetic expression from one of our own. We are celebrating heritage, we are celebrating documentary heritage. Shall we put our hands together as we welcome Nana Asase?
Light, camera, action. Are we trapping this moment in time? If we are, Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the verge of history. Welcome to the place where you are a character and I am another. That might be the director, but who eventually writes the script. And so as a people, we are learning to leave our footprints not in the sands where the waters will wash them away. That here is a place where earth and sea and sky meet to share gossip. We are choosing to blend tradition with modernity to ensure that our words, our thoughts, our very essence is captured in time and memory and space. Ago, Viha. Change is the only dynamic constant. And so, marching might mean something in a different language. Marching might mean 50 years to come. Idle action. And so, welcome once more to the verge of history. Right here at the crossroads of dreams. In the beginning, somebody said, let there be light. And we have offered water. Enough water to come down my brow and realize that all of these are beads of history that need to be told. One of my fathers says, do not forget the back without which there is no front. Do not forget the shadow without which you do not see a frame. Darkness is the only backdrop against which light can be seen. And so, Ghana, we have been called by different names. We have taken different journeys. We're still making strides into the future. Do you have your pens with you? You want to write your name? Flash it in this room and check how many random people can pick it up and remember 3 hours from now. And so it's important that each time we live this present, live in the moment, we capture it. Not in boxes. We have learned to break the boxes, even of thought, and so we trap them in time. We trap them in the clouds, which will pour down as rain many seasons later. These words are heavy and only belong to us. Ladies and gentlemen, I have given you beautiful thoughts to eat, to chew on, to digest, as all of these messages keep coming back. The great Jerry Rollins would say in typical fashion, Mai Mava, I will be back. This conversation has just started. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, we'll be expecting you back to continue with the conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to also acknowledge the presence of His Excellency, Mr. Bediako Asare, Director at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and former Ambassador to Kenya. You are welcome, sir. Again, I would like to draw our attention to the fact that we are being streamed live. We are on GTV Ghana, Facebook at GTV Ghana, YouTube at GBC. Other media stations are also present and we are being covered live. Next on our program, we would like to receive an address by the chairperson of the National Memory of the World Committee. But before she mounts the podium, can we hear a bit about her? Dr. Helena Asamoa-Hassan is the chairperson of the National Memory of the World Committee. Dr. Helena is the executive director of the African Library and Information Associations and Institution, IFLA. Related positions she has held include University Librarian of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Kumasi, Ghana, President of the Ghana Library Association, member of the governing board of the International Federation of Library Associations and Institutions, chairperson of UNESCO's International Advisory Committee on the Memory of the World Program, and she is the only African to have occupied this 2-year position since its inception in 1992. Chairperson of the Ghana Library Authority Board and member editorial board of Library Trends. Currently, positions she holds include chairperson of the Ghana National Committee of UNESCO's Memory of the World Program, Secretary General, UNESCO's African Regional Committee of the Memory of the World ACMO Program, member of the Governing Council African Open Science Platform, member of the International Advisory Board of Books Aid International, Board of Book Aid International, consultant to some international organizations on library and information. Dr. Asamoa-Hassan has 25 publications consisting of 3 books, a book chapter each in 3 books, 19 referee journals, conference proceedings and journal articles, and 112 conference papers and 20 major commission reports. Ladies and gentlemen, shall we put our hands together to acknowledge this tremendous woman of power, a woman that works to make sure that things happen. It's because of her leadership that we are here today. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Abba. The special guest, Ambassador of Japan, His Excellency Hiroshi Yoshimoto. The Minister of Education, ably represented by the Deputy, Dr. Clement Apak. The head of the UNESCO office in Ghana, Dr. Edmond Mukala. The Secretary General, National Commission for UNESCO, Professor Osman Tahidu Damba. Members of the National Commission for UNESCO, directors and heads of memory institutions, fellow National Committee members, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I walked in and I'm now seeing the people who were seated, and there are a lot of familiar faces. Maybe it's good that I didn't see you when I was coming in. I'm happy that we are here today, being part of this historic milestone. That is the launching of the Ghana National Register of the Memory of the World Program, and especially happy about the maiden inscriptions of 9 of our documentary heritage in the National Register. Today we progress from just being passive custodians of the past to becoming active ones of a permanent national legacy and making such a legacy accessible to the world. The existence of this register means that we've joined a group of dedicated people who ensure that the records of our triumphs, struggles, and identity are never lost to neglect or disaster. It has been a long journey since the Ghana National Committee for the Memory of the World was established in 2021. We've been grappling with how we were going to sensitize the public, advertise for, and prepare nominations for inscription in the International Register, and how to set up a national register. Grappling, I say, because we have the expertise, but we were faced with the challenge of funding. September 2025 opened a door of hope and fulfillment for us through the Ghana UNESCO office, and we are here today. Our guest of honor, it may interest you to know that many countries in Africa that have inscriptions in the International Register do not have national registers. And many of those who set up their national committees several years ago, long before Ghana did, are still not able to establish their national registers. We've started with the National Register, the small beginnings, and very soon the draft of Ghana inscriptions in the International Register will be a thing of the past, simply because we have the documentary heritage.
but the expertise to identify the materials worthy of nomination for inscription was lacking. We have, in the past few months, built the capacity of a core group that will soon begin to impart this knowledge through workshops to other people. Honorable Minister, ably represented by the Deputy, Guest of Honor, today we'll be adoring 9 inscriptions. These inscriptions are not listings. They are verified testimonies of our national identity. They have met the rigorous criteria for national significance as found in the guidelines for inscription from the UNESCO Memory of the World Program. 1. We have the Fairley collection, colonial era manuscripts, maps, and printed works on the Gold Coast from 1469 to 1859. As the name implies, this was nominated by the BAM Library of the University of Ghana. Then we also have the Bond of 1844, which was nominated by Brad. It is a legal agreement signed on March 6, 1844 between British Lieutenant Governor H.W. Hill and some Fanti traditional rulers in the Gold Coast colony to regularize the informal judicial power exercised by George McLean over the people of the Gold Coast. Now, interestingly, Ghana became independent exactly 113 years later on the same March 6, but this time 1957. Then we have the King Edward Prempeh I Asante letters from 1912 to 1924. This was nominated by the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology Library and the Menchia Palace Museum. These are a series of letters from the Asante in exile addressed to British colonial authorities, combining formal petitions with personal appeals, protesting the injustice of his deposition and forced exile, and insisting that neither he nor his people had committed any crime warranting such punishment. Then we have the Ghana National Museum Inventory Catalog Index from 1929 to 1990. This was nominated by the Ghana Museums and Monuments Board. They are in 10 volumes, and they document objects from that period, which was acquired by the National Museum of Ghana. They constitute the earliest systematic handwritten record of Ghana's national collections, reflecting the intellectual and administrative frameworks that shaped heritage management during the transition from colonial rule through independence. Next, we have the selected state photographs of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's administration, 1951 to 1966. This was nominated by the Information Services Department. This collection captures Dr. Nkrumah's leadership in the anti-colonial struggle, Ghana's independence in 1957, post-independence nation building, Pan-Africanism and international diplomacy. It is a rare visual record of an African nation's decolonization and Nkrumah's role as a global icon of liberation, influencing movements across Africa and the diaspora. Next, we have the Volta River Project report of the Preparatory Commission, appendices to the report, and the engineering report. This was nominated by the Parliamentary Library of Ghana. This states the beginnings of the Volta River Authority in 1956, as indicated in the Volta River Project report, which laid the foundation for the development of hydroelectric power on the Volta River in the Gold Coast in 1956, ultimately leading to the construction of the Akosombo Dam and the creation of the Volta Lake, one of the largest man-made lakes in the world. The report and subsequent agreements formalized comprehensive plans that harness the Volta River for large-scale hydroelectric power production enabling electricity exports to neighboring countries and marking a turning point in Ghana's economic history. Next is J.H. Kwabena Nketia Field Recordings from 1952 to 1979. This was nominated by Judith Poku-Boateng, George C. Jesau, and Edwin Ashinigwe for the University of Ghana Archives and the J.H. Nketia Archives. It comprises the most systematic body of ethnomusicological field recordings produced by an African scholar over the 2 decades. Created across Ghana and parts of Africa, the collection documents musical traditions, performance practices, oral traditions, ritual expressions, and community knowledge systems. These recordings form the empirical foundation of modern African music scholarship and significantly shape the global understanding of African expressive cultures. The next is the Ephraim Amu's Papers, 1919 to 1995. This was nominated by Koklu Lai for the Ephraim Amu Foundation. The papers consist of a collection of seminary, theological notes, personal correspondence, newspaper clippings, diaries, sermons, lyrics, addresses, grey literature, and ephemera of the renowned musicologist between 1919 and 1995. His famous song, Yanara Assassin, originally composed in Ewe, Peki dialect, for school children to be sung on Empire Day, is considered an alternate national anthem which continues to inspire Ghanaian nationalism. And finally, the iconic midnight speech of Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah in March 1957. This was nominated by Judith Poku-Boateng for the J.H. Nketia Archives and the University of Ghana Archives. The owner is Mr. Chris Hesse, who holds the original analog reel. Now, the 10 minutes and 31 second speech recording marks the formal declaration of Ghana's independence from British colonial rule. The recording is rare as it is the full-length version, which has never been publicly released. It captures Nkrumah opening his speech in Fanti, switching to English, returning briefly to Fanti, and concluding in English. This bilingual delivery reflects Ghana's cultural identity and the political intent to speak simultaneously to local citizens and an international audience. Now, these nominations, now approved for inscription, represent the outstanding universal value of our specific culture and history, showing how our local stories in various formats have shaped our national consciousness and development. Our national register, the Ghana National Register, is as significant to our identity as the International Register is to the world. Documentary heritage, if it is in the form of ancient or archival manuscripts, modern digital archives, or audiovisual records, tells us who we are and where we have come from, and where we are looking forward to going. Honorable Minister and guests of honor, we've conquered the inscription level, which is the new beginning. We now need to protect these physical and digital objects from decay and loss, which means we need to take serious action in their preservation. Make sure they are easily accessible for research and general interest use, and then put them in safe care so that through them, future generations will connect to their ancestors. Without acting on this urgently, there is no need for what we are doing here today. The next window for receiving nominations is from June to August 2026 for the second edition of the inscriptions in the National Register, which is supposed to come out in October 2026, every 6 months. From now on, there will be inscriptions in the National Register, April and October of every year. Everyone is welcome to nominate items of documentary heritage value and of national and international significance to be evaluated for conclusion. Finally, I wish to express our appreciation to the UNESCO Ghana Office, the Ghana National Commission for UNESCO, the Embassy of Japan, the team that worked tirelessly to evaluate the nominations, and all other persons who have made today's event possible. I remember dragging the team to evaluate nominations in a 2-day workshop. The first day they were dragging their feet. So the second day in the morning, I said, we'll finish before we leave. And we finished at 2 a.m. the next day. 2 a.m. So that is how we work. Let us be proud of these maiden inscriptions, which serve as a bright light, leading the way to many more inscriptions in our national, regional, and the world's international register, which will showcase our treasured documentary heritage to the world. The international register, look out for us. We are coming boldly in the next round of nominations next year. I thank you.
Thank you very much, our Chair. We are grateful to you for causing us to work hard. Ladies and gentlemen, please, shall we acknowledge?
At this point, I would like to have the members of the National Committee for the Memory of the World Program join me here. The National Committee. It's taking you years to come, and you are there. So, this is the team that did all this work, and then we co-opted some people. Koklu, you are here, come. Koklu, you were with us in Koforidua. So this is the team that has been able to churn out this work that we are adoring today. Thank you very much. Please, shall you give them a round of applause? Thank you.
MOW team, thank you so much for the hard work. God bless you for making Ghana proud. Ladies and gentlemen, please, I would like to acknowledge the presence of the following people in our midst. Mr. Gregory Sechen is the head of the Public Records and Archives Administrative Department, PRAD. You are welcome, sir. We also have Dr. Winifred Mahama, the Director for Information Services Department, with us. Welcome, Madam. We are grateful to have the presence of Dr. Ephraim Amu's daughter in our midst. Ephraim Amu's document has been listed. Welcome, Madam. Welcome. Welcome. We also have Professor Adewale Obadina, who is the Head of Association of African Universities with us. You are welcome, sir. Thank you, sir. We'll move on with our program. We are going to take another address. The next address is coming from the UNESCO representative and head of office in the presence of His Excellency Edmond Mukaila. Mr. Mukaila is a Congolese sinologist who holds a master's degree in law, a bachelor's degree in design and planning, and a degree in civil engineering. He stands as a distinguished figure whose career is marked by significant contributions to international diplomacy and cultural dialogue. Particularly, he is recognized for his insightful contribution to understanding historical and societal developments. His diverse roles reflect a deep commitment to cultural preservation, knowledge dissemination, and the promotion of education and peace globally. As a UNESCO representative previously in Mali and now in Ghana, Asamoa-Hassan has been instrumental in advancing the organization's mandate, particularly offering international cooperation, implementing crucial projects, and advocating for policies that support sustainable development through culture and education. He has championed initiatives that bring communities together, ensuring their heritage is recognized, protected, and transmitted to future generations. Beyond his diplomatic endeavors, he is also an accomplished lecturer. His ability to articulate complex ideas in an accessible manner has resonated with students and researchers, establishing him as a compelling voice on Africa and its Agenda 2063. Shall we put our hands together as we welcome him to the podium?
Thank you. This one. Great day, huh? Do we have our students here today? I can hear you. Are you here? Yes, we are all excited. Honorable Deputy Minister of Education, Dr. Clement Abbas Abad, Excellency Ambassador of Japan to Ghana, dear friend, His Excellency Hiroshi Yoshimoto, the Secretary General of the National Commission of UNESCO, Professor Osman Damba, our host, President Professor Isabella Kwaki, I hope I did not scratch your name, I was trying hard, the President of the Ghana Academy of Arts and Science. Are you happy to be here? Because this is the place where we make history, so you understand why we are here. And only the place alone already is speaking volume on the moment that we are experiencing today. Chairperson of the Ghana Member of the World Committee, you're making us proud, Dr. Hassan Asamoa. I have to say that yes, the UNESCO office stepped in, but you have been championing all this work with the Secretary General of the National Commission for years, and I think she deserves another round of applause for this historical moment. We know that we still have a way to go, but we're already right there, because now the next step is now to take it to the global scene, to bring all the values of what has been presented now really to face the registry of the world. But we're already proud of the quality of the work that has been done, and you can rest assured that even personally, I'm really in admiration. So Ghana members of the Member of the World Committee who have really stood here so a while ago, heads of memory institutions, our distinguished guests, friends, and in particular our cherished students, because all that is being done is for you, is for your generations, not only to contemplate, but they become really resourceful information that will really inspire you in the way you will be addressing, interpreting, and also making sound decisions to govern the world in which we are living in. So ladies and gentlemen, so let me begin by warmly thanking you all for honoring our invitation to be part of this important occasion here in what I call the intellectual heart of Ghana, Madam President. The Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences. We are gathered not merely to perform a formal ceremony, but to fulfill a generational duty in the grand tapestry of human existence. Memory is the thread that prevents the fabric of society from unraveling. Today, in the launch of Ghana's first national Memory of the World Registry, we are weaving that thread tighter. We are ensuring that the unique, powerful, and transformative voice of Ghana is etched permanently in the record of human civilization. This is a moment of profound pride, a moment when the Black Star shines in its light of things that have shaped our consciousness. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to commend the Honorable Minister, faithfully represented by the Deputy Minister, for his steadfast support. His engagement has been central in shaping Ghana's, documentary heritage ecosystem. As we have initiated steps towards policy guidance, institutional coordination, his continued interest reinforces the idea that safeguarding memory is not only a cultural responsibility, but an educational investment in the next generation. Under his leadership, I would like also to recognize the Ghana National Commission for UNESCO and the Ghana Committee on Memory of the World for their commitment, technical work, and sustained coordination, which have guided every step leading to today's launch. Over the past few months, the UNESCO Accra office has worked closely with national stakeholders to support a series of activities, from the inception meeting that set the national direction to technical training sessions, workshops that have strengthened institutional capacity to identify and safeguard valuable records. These processes were not merely technical exercises. They provided Ghanaian institutions with the opportunity to deepen the understanding of the historical, cultural, and eventually value and depth in the document they hold. UNESCO established the Memory of the World program over 3 decades ago with a clear and urgent mandate to protect the world documentary heritage from twin threats of physical decay or historical erasure. Our mission is to build upon 3 pillars objectives that direct our work every day. First, we facilitate preservation by the most advanced means available, recognizing that documents are fragile and the story they hold are even more so. Second, we champion universal access, democratizing knowledge so that the treasures of the archives are not hidden in shadows, but are available to every curious mind, every student, every citizen. Third, we increase global awareness, shouting from the rooftop that documentary heritage is the bedrock of democracy and the foundation of shared human understanding. By establishing this national registry, Ghana joins a global network dedicated to the truth that memory is a basic human right. So Ghana documentary heritage is a rich as it is ancient. We begin our journey by acknowledging the pre-colonial foundations, as the chairperson just highlighted, specifically the documentary legacy of the Ashanti Kingdom and its chieftaincy institution, the Mancha Palace archives, and the record of the various traditional councils represent a sophisticated system of governance and judicial balance. This record provides evidence of a highly organized society that balanced power consensus long before foreign models were introduced. They are the living proof of African statecraft and indigenous political science that remains relevant to our modern governance. To preserve this record is to preserve the dignity of African institutional memory. We then also look northward to a legacy that challenged all stereotypes. The West African Arabic manuscript. For centuries, northern Ghana was a vibrant hub of intellectual exchange. The scholar of Salada, Tamale, and beyond produced manuscripts that rival the great libraries of the world. This text, spanning the fields of mathematics, ethics, astronomy, and law, reminds us that Ghana has always been a place of profound literacy and intellectual rigor. This documentary, yes, don't be shy, you have to clap. This documentary heritage bridges the gap between the Sahel and the coast, creating unified narratives of a nation that has always valued the written word and its tool of enlightenment and trade. Basically, we're also saying that when they tell you that Africa did not have script and writings, it was a big lie. And that's what this memory is going to do. And I would also even stepping a little bit out of my speech just to remind that under the leadership of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, the most historic resolution was passed at the UN General Assembly, which is actually, when we talk about reparation, this is reparation also that we are talking about. This is restitution. We are bringing back into the minds and the hearts of men and women, and especially our young children, to understand the accuracy and the veracity of the information that long was occulted and was hidden. And this is very, very important. The colonial and the post-colonial eras in Ghana brought with them new technology of memory, none more significant than the radio broadcasting movement that I want to highlight here also. I know, Jefferson, your job is you're just scratching. This country will run you crazy because the amount of the wealth and richness of archive document that you guys will be working will be with you, and I know His Excellency Ambassador support will continue to be, because the work we're just starting. We're just starting, but when we start from the north to the south to the east and west and going all the corners, this country is going to demonstrate that it was not just by chance, and it was the leading country that really birthed the independence of African countries worldwide. And that also deserves a big round of applause. So in the 90s, I have to say that because I'm Congolese, and we have fought my country when I was young. We used to sing about the independence of Namibia, Zimbabwe, and many other countries. But when I visited the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, then I understood that all started right here in this great country. So the recorded speeches, the radio dramas, and the daily news broadcasts were the very vehicle that carried the message of independence across the continent. These archives record the birth of modern Africa. They document how Ghana's example of self-determination echoed into the hearts and our brothers and sisters in neighbors' land, paving the way for a continental wave of freedom. These records are the heartbeat of the revolution that Africa was looking for. Ghana's specific heritage is also the heritage of the world through the Pan-Africanist movement. Under the visionary leadership of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Accra became the Mecca of liberation. The latest exchange between Kwame Nkrumah and Du Bois and John Patmore constitute a corpus of thoughts that changed the trajectory of the 20th century. These documents are symbols of global solidarity. They prove that the fight for African dignity was never an isolated one. It was a global intellectual and political movement. By inscribing this record, we ensure that the lessons of Pan-Africanism, unity, dignity, and self-reliance are never forgotten in the youth of our world today. So as we celebrate what we have, we must also identify what is yet to be gathered. Today, I make a solemn also appeal to our Honorable Deputy Minister and to all memory institutions that our the Ghanaian National Archives, university libraries, and medical research centers, you are the guardian of a silent treasure. The scientific papers, research logs, and intimate diaries, particularly from Dr. Hideo Noguchi. This world-renowned scientist from Japan came to Ghana with a singular purpose: to battle yellow fever. If you have traveled from Japan to Ghana, then you will know what I'm talking about. He traveled from Japan to Ghana. It's many hours. You sleep and you wake up and you're still in the plane, and you wonder how long it's going to take you to get here. He ultimately gave his life, priceless, here for the cause of human health. His diaries are more than just medical data. They are a bridge of friendship between Japan and Ghana, and once more again, we want to thank you, Excellency, for Japan's support to this memory program. Please, let's give Japan the round of applause. And a record of early foundation of global medical ethics and research. And no one will doubt that the Noguchi Institute here in the University of Ghana is one of the most outstanding in West Africa region. You have seen even for the African region as well. And so that legacy goes far beyond, what we have even seen. So I urge you to submit these vital documents for inscription on National Register, that we may honor the sacrifice of a man who saw no borders in the pursuit of saving lives. Memory also requires the courage to face injustice. In this regard, the government of Ghana has shown remarkable moral leadership that extends far beyond its own shore. At the United Nations, Ghana has been at the forefront of the global conversation on reparation. This is not merely political stance, it is a profound act of memory. By demanding that the world acknowledge the historic wrongs of the transatlantic slave trade and colonial exploitation, Ghana is ensuring that the gaps in our collective memory are finally filled. We commend the government for its bravery, for you understand that there can be no true reconciliation without a full accounting of the past. Your effort in New York resonates in every archive in the world. Honorable Deputy Minister, in the coming months, we intend to train 100 memory technicians around the country. We will engage an expert in regions to assist in enhancing the skill of managers, librarians, archivists, and technicians in prospecting, identifying documentary heritage, creating inventory, and drawing up directories of documentary heritage at risk. This will culminate with the digitization of some documents. Additionally, to raise awareness of documentary heritage, 40 journalists will be trained in reporting on it. Where are the journalists today? We are not forgetting, because we know if you know what you see and the value of it, you will also know how to report it. So you are part of the fact and you're not forgetting. Honorable Deputy Minister, I'm almost ending. The Ghana Academy of Arts and Science, our host today, you have to speak to everyone. When they give you the microphone, you have to take the opportunity. Next time you will have it. Remind us that memory is the fuel for research and innovation. Without the record of the past, our scientists and artists would be forced to reinvent the wheel in every generation. So I call upon the educators and memory professionals in this room. Use this register. Do not let it be a static document. Digitize this record, bring them into the classrooms, and use them to inspire the next generation of Ghanaian pioneers. Let our children present here know that they come from a land of kingdoms, a land of scholars, and a land that led the continent to freedom. Distinguished guests, as we celebrate today's achievement, let me also recognize our partners whose support made this possible. I extend our deepest appreciation to the government of Japan once again, ably represented here by His Excellency Ambassador of Japan to Ghana, for the generous funding that has enabled the national engagement leading to this launch. Japan has been a consistent and valued partner in heritage preservation and many other programs in UNESCO in science education. And we look forward to continued collaboration for the benefit and advancement of shared goals. Made through this effort, through the scientific papers and diaries of Dr. Hideo Noguchi, be inscribed in the National Registry in the future. Honorable Deputy Minister, under your leadership, UNESCO and stakeholders have given the country its first national memory of the world. But today, we're planting a tree of memory whose shade will protect future generations of Ghanaians. UNESCO remains your steadfast partner in noble endeavor. We look forward to seeing many of the items in this national register eventually graduate to the international memory of the World Register. For the world needs the wisdom of Ghana. Let us go forth from here with a renewed commitment to find, fix, and finish the work of preserving our documentary heritage. Our past is not dead. It is not even past. It is the light that will guide us into the prosperous and proud future. I thank you. Medase, God bless you, and make that a great day.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you. The call has been made so clear, so loud. It is a call on all of us, all institutions in Ghana. Ghana has a rich documentary heritage, and all institutions, including individuals, have memories that the world is waiting to see, to read, and to use. So this is a call to remind us that as we launch the register today, wherever you hear our voice, wherever you are watching from, those watching us online, whichever institution you are in, individuals who also have their own memories written down, it is valuable. It is needed by the world, and that is what will make Ghana proud. So please, after here, reach out. Come out in your numbers. Reach out to the Memory of the World Committee through UNESCO Ghana, and then we would work on the documents and see to it that it is listed on the national, regional, and global register. Thank you very much for that call. Thank you so much for making it boldly. We would also hear from our special guest in the person of His Excellency, Ambassador of Japan, Hiroshi Yoshimoto. But before that, let's listen to his bio briefly. His Excellency Hiroshi Yoshimoto graduated from the University of Kyoto, Faculty of Law in March 1984. And in the following month, he joined the Ministry of Education, Science and Culture, the Textbook Division, Elementary and Secondary Education Bureau. He graduated with an MBA from the Simon Graduate School of Business Administration, University of Rochester, New York, USA, in 1989. He served as the first secretary of the Japanese delegation to UNESCO Paris, France, from 1995 to 1998. From the year 2001 until 2022, when he resigned from the Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science and Technology, he held the following positions: Director, Early Childhood Education Division, Public Relations and Press Secretary, Minister's Secretariat, Director, University Promotion Division, Higher Education Bureau, Director, Public Division, Higher Education Bureau, Director, Budget and Accounts Division, Minister's Secretariat, Deputy Director General, Elementary and Secondary Education Bureau, Deputy Director General, Higher Education Bureau, Assistant Minister for Policy Coordination, Minister's Secretariat, Director General, Higher Education Bureau, Director General, Education Policy Bureau. It sounds similar, but they are not similar. They are not the same positions. They are all different positions from the year 2001 to 2022. These were his positions. Then he became the Vice Minister for the Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science and Technology. Additional positions he held include the following: Director, Daycare Division, Equal Employment, Children and Family, Bureau, Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare in 2006. Deputy Director General, National Institute for Education Policy Research in 2013, Vice President, National Center for University Entrance Examination in 2019. From October 2024 to date, His Excellency has served and continues to serve in the following position: Ambassador Extraordinaire and Plenipotentiary of Japan to the Republic of Ghana, Ambassador Extraordinaire and then Plenipotentiary of Japan to the Republic of Liberia, Ambassador Extraordinary and then Plenipotentiary of Japan to the Republic of Sierra Leone. Ladies and gentlemen, shall we welcome our special guest for the day, His Excellency, Ambassador. Thank you very much.
Thank you, MC, Madam MC, for detailed information and explanation of my career, including my career in UNESCO. I would say I am a child of UNESCO family, so I'm very proud of that. Honorable Deputy Minister of Education, His Excellency Dr. Muluka, UNESCO's representative to Ghana, Madam Chairperson, Ghana National Committee for UNESCO Memorial World Register Program, Secretary General of Ghana UNESCO Commission, and hosting this event, Ghana Academy of Arts and Science, all the dignitaries and students from Ghana, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and friends from media. Good morning. It is a great pleasure to be part of this event, joining UNESCO and other national stakeholders to work on the inclusion of selected heritage documents of Ghana into the UNESCO Memory of the World Register. Ghana is a nation with profound cultural depth and historical significance. Your journey has not only shaped your own identity, but has also played an important role in the political history of Africa. From her leadership in the struggle for independence to its enduring roles in the global affairs, Ghana has offered the world ideas and examples and that continue to inspire reflection and progress. Ghana is rich in documentary history that reflects beautiful and rich history and culture. As Madam Chairperson and Dr. Muluka clearly explained, with regard to the history or about the relationship between Japan and Ghana, Dr. Muluka energetically and impressively explained. We are very proud that Dr. Hideo Noguchi came to Ghana to research on yellow fever. But just after half of a year later, he unfortunately lost his life due to the yellow fever. But we like to draw the attention to the fact that next year, 2027, marks a 100 years of anniversary since Dr. Noguchi came here in Ghana. So as Dr. Muluka suggested, we like to see that the documents and research notes and manuscripts that Dr. Noguchi left in this country will be duly considered under the program World Memory of Register. Therefore, there should be commitment from all of us, governments, institutions, and development partners alike, to ensure that these invaluable records of history are preserved and protected. It is in this spirit that this initiative led by UNESCO is very important as an invaluable source for preserving and knowing the history of Ghana for future generations. Globally, Japan continues to play an active role in advancing the work of UNESCO across education, culture, and science. In support of these priorities, Japan has established dedicated funding mechanisms, commonly known as Japan Funds in Trust, which has enabled a range of impactful initiatives from safeguarding cultural heritage to promoting literacy and strengthening institutional capacity. It is through one of such funds that Japan is partnering with UNESCO to make this initiative we are launching today possible. Ladies and gentlemen, indeed, Japan attaches great importance to the preservation of documentary heritage, and our commitment to the UNESCO Memory of the World Register is informed by our own experience. Personally, I'm very proud to tell you that I was fully committed to the work of the UNESCO World Memory of the World Register in the Ministry of Japan at that time. As a country that has faced a natural disaster and significant historical transitions, Japan understands the importance of protecting documentary records because safeguarding memory is in many ways safeguarding identity and culture. As other previous speaker I stressed, it's ensured that future generations can learn not only from achievements but also from challenges. So the review and the inclusion of these documentary heritage items of Ghana in the Memory of the World Register is a good step toward raising awareness about the importance of documentary preservation across the African continent. It sends a clear message that Ghana treasures its history and is committed to protecting it. Ladies and gentlemen, let me note that in Ghana, the partnership between Japan and UNESCO extends beyond this initiative we are launching today. Together, we have collaborated in areas such as climate and digital resilience projects, as well as partnership with Japanese companies in providing support to Ghana's preparedness toward earthquake disaster risk reduction. We appreciate the strong collaboration with UNESCO and the government of Ghana, and we remain committed to expanding these partnerships, including this Ghana's Memory of the World Heritage Register. To conclude, let me once again commend the government of Ghana, UNESCO, and all stakeholders for this initiative. I know there have been series of events, idea sharing, that has led to the final selection of these set of documentary items. I'm confident that this is only the beginning and that more elements of Ghana's rich and diverse historical record will be identified and preserved within the register as well. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Thank
you. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Please, owners of car number GW6218, GW6218, and GE4911, GE4911 2021 should kindly attend to their car immediately. Thank you. Nana Sasi promised us that he will be back to continue the conversation with us. Shall we put our hands together as we welcome Nana Asase?
Buy the truth and sell it not. Sell the truth, it will be bought. Buy the truth, it is for sale. Sell the truth. You might have so many willing buyers. Don't taste the truth. Can we break some rules? Until it is reported, then our oral traditions might not qualify. At the moment, Africa holds between 5 and 7% only of the entire register of memory of the world. 5 to 7. But I come to present extra and tell you, what if we wrote all of Chief Moment's great feats in this life and captured what Apioko is doing, what Ofusua says, and all our linguists are doing in this current age as something that can be counted forward for the future? Will that not be national identity in its essence? The telling of our story, leaning backwards with Sankofa and then reaching out to the future. For this is simply a relay that we continue to run. Each document is not important without its messenger, without its carrier. What is truly a message without the one who delivers it? It is not even what you deliver that matters. How is it delivered? And so let us start writing letters to the future. Can we write letters now and tell them we are records of living memory? Abu. 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 Age. Age then becomes just a number. Age becomes insignificant, and so my people. Can we start on your mark, get set, go, and start living footprints in our digital times, footprints more importantly in memory, in this age of what they call Anyame intelligence, African intelligence. It is high time we own our stories, beat our chest and tell them our chest as good as drums as any animal skin could ever be. Abu Viha. Where is the essence of spirit, the creative force of all life? And so where is the storyteller in all of this? Today, I am the one who lives on the diagonal junctions, who will tell the story of how I came into a room and met cultures and generations melted into one pot at the center. And we are going to stir it as we make history. Make sure your name goes down. Otherwise, your place might just be missed. And make sure you have a broad smile when the camera captures you. Is that a camera? How do you point a camera at me and expect me to smile? Well, after you have canonized me, you dare call me Saint Nana Asaze or something else you would dare to distort in history. But you see, your seat is meant for you, and it is deliberate that we are deciding, finally, to do it right. And so one day, the future will point their hands at us. For when a child points his hands at an elder, it could be a greeting, it could be a blessing, it could be so many Semitical things I dare not mention. But I'm sure this will be a blessing to say, God bless our fathers, God bless our mothers, God bless our ancestors who carried great thinking forward, just to give us a platform on which to stake our place in the faces of the world. My message is well delivered, I know. You need not tell me, because I have heard every single thing everyone has put in. My people, beyond these talk shops, a lot of work has gone on. Can we begin to get our hands dirty? Can we begin to imprint our marks on the face of the world? Can we begin to imprint our stories on the hearts of these young ones who will carry our legacy over into the future? Mpeni say, Jordina Samonsu Kemi, our Honorable Minister of Education would have been here. But you see, when a king moves and the music is good, you pay to hear it twice. Honorable, Clement, Abba, Dog, you're coming up. From this moment, your words will be measured. We will hold it against light, we will hold it against dark, we will wash it in the water and see how it stands the test of time. Abu. This conversation has just begun, my people. And I will continue to torment you with many great speeches like this until we realize that we own a part of our own stories. Let us step it well. Let us dance it well. Let us write it well. But let us be careful what we leave for for the rest of the world to fill in. 5 to 7. How do we make it 20 in the next year? Honorable, maybe you have some beautiful ideas.
Thank you, Nana. Another round of applause for you. Fantastic guy. Before I begin my formal comments, let me make a few disclosures, since my former student exposed me earlier, Dr. Abba. He was my student at the University of Ghana, Department of Archaeology and Heritage Studies, and we are very proud of you. I'm happy to be here, and I believe it is for some unique divine reason that minister asked me to represent him here today. But when I was in the boarding room, I was having a conversation with my colleagues, and I was telling them that my degree at the University of Ghana was a combination of archaeology and history. I did equal courses in both, which means that I could have majored in either, but I did major in both. And given the context and the reason for which we are here, I think the ancestors decided that the minister should send me, because I fit in perfectly well. Our able chair of this very important program, His Excellency, now my brother, the Japanese ambassador to Ghana, the head of our UNESCO office, Accra, also my good brother, the chairperson, the Ghana National Commission for UNESCO Memory of the World Program. A round of applause for her, please. The General Secretary, the Secretary General, you know we're politicians, we are used to General Secretary, so it should be Secretary General. The Secretary General, Ghana Commission for UNESCO, our dear students, brothers and sisters, and I've seen many that I haven't seen for years from campus and other places, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor today to address you today on behalf of the Minister at the launch of Ghana's Documentary Heritage National Register under the auspices of the UNESCO Memory of the World Program. This occasion marks an important step in our collective effort to protect our nation's memory and preserve the foundations of our identity for future generations to come. Today we gather here to reaffirm the simple and powerful truth that is Ghana's story must be preserved. From the rise of our ancient kingdoms through our hard-won independence to the progress we continue to make, our journey deserves to be protected and remembered. The story lives in our books, manuscripts, archives, photographs, and audiovisual records held in our institutions, within our communities, in our homes, and even beyond our borders.
Each record carries a voice from the past and offers an insight into who we are and where we came from. Ladies and gentlemen, my brothers and sisters, the National Register provides a clear and sustainable framework to identify, catalog, and safeguard the documentary heritage that defines us. It reflects our commitment not only to preserving the past, but also to building a stronger future shaped by its lessons. As Ghana advances its digitization in governance and public service, this is the right moment to ensure that both physical and digital records are properly protected, well managed, and indeed accessible. Archives are not simply collections of old documents. They are living memories of our nation's They are living memories of our nation's essential for accountability, research and education, creativity, and national development. Effective record management strengthens transparency and good governance. It protects citizens' rights and supports sound, evidence-based decision-making. Yet we must also confront real challenges. Many records are deteriorating, resources are limited, environmental risk continues to strengthen and threaten our collections. These realities call for innovation, renewed commitment, and stronger collaborations across both public and private sectors. Distinguished guests, this initiative aligns closely with UNESCO's Memory of the World program, established in 1992 to protect and promote access to humanity's documentary heritage. Its purpose is clear: to guard against collective amnesia, neglect, and distraction. Ghana has remained an active contributor to this global effort. In 2021, the Ghana Commission for UNESCO established the Ghana National Committee for the Memory of the World program. In 2024, Ghana proudly hosted the 15th International Memory of the World Training Workshop here in the national capital. The workshop brought together experts from across the African continent to strengthen capacity in identifying and nominating heritage of regional and global importance, with special attention to documenting the contributions of women to Africa's history. Today's launch builds on that progress. It answers UNESCO's call to safeguard documentary heritage and positions Ghana to nominate its most valuable collections to the Memory of the World International Register. Ladies and gentlemen, as Deputy Minister representing the Minister, I firmly believe that understanding our history enriches our present and shapes our future. Documentary heritage is not only about preservation, it is also a powerful tool for learning. It provides students, researchers, and citizens with reliable sources to explore Ghana's past, draw lessons from it, and find inspiration for the future. Let me commend the Public Records and Archives Administration Department, PRAD, for its long-standing commitment to preserving Ghana's archives. Their work continues to evolve through digitization, improved public access, and regional partnerships. I also acknowledge the important contributions of our universities, libraries, museums, and cultural institutions. Dear guests, this National Register must be more than a document. It must inspire action. We must move forward with a clear national strategy equipped to meet both current demands and future challenges. Let me use this opportunity to reiterate earlier calls by previous speakers that we need the public and private institutions to all play their part. We need them to nominate important material, support digitization efforts, and participate in training and capacity building initiatives. This is a shared responsibility, and together we can achieve lasting results. On behalf of the Minister for Education, on behalf of His Excellency the President, himself a student of history, on behalf of the government, I express our sincerest gratitude, especially the Secretary General, National Commission for UNESCO, the Chair and members of the Memory of the World Committee, the UNESCO representative to Ghana and head of UNESCO office, His Excellency the Japanese Ambassador to Ghana, and indeed the President of the Ghana Academy of Arts and Science. As I bring my remarks to a close, let me indicate that Ghana's story is one of resilience, great culture, and continuity. Through this register, we preserve our collective memory and connect our heritage to the broader story of our common humanity. It is now my unique, historic, and singular honor to declare Ghana's Documentary Heritage National Register officially launched. Thank you, and may God bless our homeland, Ghana.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Thank you, Honorable Minister. I think you don't have to leave because I'll call you again. So, ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, I think we all want to see what is in the register. We've heard it, but now we want to see. May I kindly ask students together? We are going to count from 5 to 0. All of us, we are going to count from 5 to 0. So when we get to 0, they would let the register appear for us to see. Okay, thank you very much. So we are going to count from 5 to 0. Are we ready? Shall we start from 5? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome to Ghana's memory of the World Register. When memory speaks, a nation lives. Every nation is built on memories. Stories written, voices recorded, moments preserved in time. But what happens when those memories begin to fade? When history is lost, identity begins to disappear. This is why the Memory of the World program by UNESCO exists, to preserve the world's most valuable documentary heritage. And now, Ghana has its own national memory of the World Register. Arthur, a powerful step to protect the documents, stories, and records that define who we are. Because history is not only in museums, it lives in your archives, your institutions, even your homes. You can be part of this journey. Simply visit the official website, download the nomination form, and submit your document for review, or send an inquiry, MOW, at UNESCO Ghana. Protect the story. Share Ghana with the world. Ghana's memory lives through you. What is the Memory of the World program? It is UNESCO's flagship program that aims to ensure the preservation and dissemination of the world's documentary heritage. What is the Memory of the World Register? The UNESCO Memory of the World Program Register is a catalog of documentary heritage of outstanding world significance. What is a national register? A national register comprises documentary heritage of national significance. It is not an inferior version of the Memory of the World Register, but a fundamental tool for safeguarding the documentary heritage of a nation. How to submit a nomination. You may check on the Ghana National Committee for the Memory of the World website, www.unescogana.gov.gh/memory of the world, to download the nomination form and guidelines for completing the form. Or send an inquiry email to mow@unescogana.gov.gh. Visit the Ghana.
Thank you very much. We'll have time to see more of the documents. But for now, because our dignitaries will have to attend to another important meeting, we would like to take a brief photograph with them before they leave. Then we continue with the program, and then afterwards we come back to photographs. So can we please have our dignitaries come forward, and then we take group photographs. Should get ready. Please, can you stand once we get there? Please, another one, please. Members of the Memory of the World Committee, kindly join them. Memory of the World Committee members. Can we please do this quickly so that they can leave? Memory of the World Committee. Afterwards, all heads of institutions present. Our school people, be ready to join us. Thank you very much. Can we have the students joining the dignitaries quickly before they leave? Hills, and then Accra in Accra Hills. Quickly, yes. Please, some can come here. Some can come. Some can also climb up. Yes, some can also climb up. Thank you. Yes. Thank you so much. But before that, can we have a slideshow of the documents that have been registered? The 9 documents registered. Can we have a show of them? Can we see them? As we prepare to give certificates to those who have nominated their records.
glad you made it.
Thank you very much. Can we now do the presentation of certificates? Okay, so we are going to have the presentation of certificates. This is how the certificates looks like. Can we give a round of applause for that? It's going to be given to all those who have nominated. I will read it. Ghana National Register, Memory of the World, Certificate of Inscription. In the Ghana National Register of the Memory of the World, those certificates attest to the inscription in the Ghana National Register of the Memory of the World of the items from the Palm Library, University of Ghana, the Fowler Collection, colonial era manuscripts, maps, and printed works on the Gold Coast from 1469 to 1859. The item has the distinct honor of being among the first 9 entries in the said register, and is signed by Dr. Asamoa-Hassan, the chairperson, Ghana National Committee of the Memory of the World. We would like to call upon our Honorable Deputy Minister, Dr. Clement Apart, to do this presentation for us. Can we call reps from the BAM Library reps to, can we give them a hand of applause? Rep from the BAM Library. They have nominated the Fowler Collection, colonial era manuscripts, maps, and printed works on the Gold Coast. Thank you very much, BAM Library. This nomination is from the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology Library and Menchia Palace Museum. The document inscribed as the King Edward Prempeh I Asantehene letters from 1912 to 1924. And we call reps from Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology Library and Menchia Palace to take this. Thank you very much. The next item is from the Public Records and Archives Administration Department, PRAD. The document inscribed is the Bond of 1844. Can we have rep from PRAD taking it?